Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So we are going to be talking about all of the books that I read throughout the month of October. I really want to start incorporating these videos on my channel, so I kind of want to do like a monthly recap at the end of each month and just kind of like talk about the books that I read. Because I know sometimes I talk about it in vlogs, but I kind of want to just put it all in like one spot. So if you guys are interested in the book content, you can just like immediately come to this video, and I probably won't make the vlogs so like heavily focused on reading because I'll be doing these monthly recaps. So yeah, if you guys want to hear about all the books that I read this month, then just go ahead and keep on watching. So here's all the books that I've read. We've got a lot. So let's get into it. I honestly want to say this month was kind of like a miss for me. I don't know, like I read a couple good books, but I feel like a lot of the books that I read this month were just kind of like there. Like they were just there. I didn't like obsess over them. I didn't love them. So I'm kind of like bummed out, but I still do really like all the books that I read. I just feel like there wasn't one that was like, oh my god, I absolutely love this, everyone go read it, basically. So yeah, let's get into it. Also, I just want to say these are all just my own opinions. My favorite book might be your least favorite book, or vice versa. My least favorite book might be your favorite book. So just kind of take my reviews with like a grain of salt because they're just my opinions, you know. Okay, let's get going. Let's get started. Alright, so starting off strong, this is the first book that I read this month, and it's by Emily Henry. It's called People We Meet on Vacation, and I hate to say this, but I feel like Emily Henry is just an author that I just can't vibe with. I don't know. I read Beach Read and did not like it whatsoever. I ended up rating this 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know, I just couldn't get into the book, and I had such high hopes for this book because if you read the back of it, it sounds so good. I just don't like the way that she executed the plot. I just feel like it fell flat for me. I just was not vibing with it. I just did not like it, and it made me so sad because I wanted to like this book so bad. But I just feel like Emily Henry just might not be the author personally for me, which is really unfortunate because I've read like a decent amount of books and I've never really like disliked an author or really disliked a book. I want to say out of the like 50-ish books that I've read recently, only maybe 3 of them I didn't like, and so the fact that like 2 out of those 3 are from Emily Henry, just I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I didn't really like this book. Just about these characters, Poppy and Alex. They have nothing in common. She's a wild child. He wears khakis. They always go on a vacation together every year. And then something happens and then they stop talking and like they're trying to fix it, like blah blah blah. I don't know. It sounds really good, but I didn't like the way that Emily made the plot. So that's unfortunate. So it got 3 out of 5 stars for me, but I know so many people loved this book, so take it what you will. Up next, I read Good Girl Complex by Alec Kennedy, and I haven't really heard many people talk about this book. I was at Target and I saw this on the shelf and it just sounded so good. So basically it's about Mackenzie. She is like a trust fund person. She goes to school. Cooper and all of his friends talk about Mackenzie as just like another rich clone, blah blah blah, kind of like a friends turns to lovers type of book. So basically it's just like the relationship of Mackenzie and Cooper, and I really liked it. It was kind of cheesy, but I feel like that's just like how romance novels are, kind of predictable, but again, I feel like that's just how romance novels are. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy the book. I thought it was well written, and I like how it goes from different perspectives. So you have like Mackenzie's perspective, but then you also have like Cooper's perspective. So yeah, I really liked it. Also, this is part 1 of 3 in a series, and I read the second book, so I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, overall, I did really like it. If you've read it, let me know down below because like I said, I feel like I haven't really heard anyone talk about this book, and it was really good. I would recommend it. Also, I feel like my closet being half open right here is really just like stressing me out and it's not cohesive, but we're just gonna roll with that. Next, I read Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed, and I ended up rating it a 3 out of 5 stars. I am just like a big romance girl, so when a book is not like centered around romance, I just feel like it's just not going to be as good. I'm trying to like break out of that because I've started to like and enjoy thrillers, but I just feel like I just like I'm a sucker for a good romance novel. But I really wanted to give this a read because I've had this on my to be read list for a really long time. But I did really enjoy it. I mean, I guess there's like kind of a little bit of romance in it. There's like a few little twists in it, but overall I just kind of felt just kind of like about the book basically. Like, it was good. I would still recommend people reading it. I'm glad I read it. It just wasn't like my favorite book. But it still was really good. I think it has an important message in it, and so I think that's really important to read about. But overall, it just kind of like fell flat to me. It's basically just about this girl, Amira, and she's a babysitter for Alex Chamberlain. And so Amira is babysitting Alex Chamberlain's toddler, and then a security guard comes up and thinks that Amira stole the child because they have different skin colors. So it basically kind of just like centers around that. There's like a couple twists, like I said, but it's basically just about like Amira's life as she is babysitting for Alex. Like I said, it was okay. It wasn't my favorite, but I still do think it has like an important message, and I still would recommend reading it if you haven't already. But yeah, I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. And then up next, I read The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker, which is also part 1 of 3 books, and I'm really excited. I actually ended up rating this 5 out of 5 stars. I was going back and forth between 4 and 5, but overall I did really like this book. It is just a good classic romance novel, a good just like friends turn to lovers. No, did I say friends turn to lovers? I meant enemies turns to lovers. I think I said friends turn to lovers in Good Girl Complex, but I meant enemies turn to lovers. Okay. That was this book, Enemies Turns to Lovers, and I really liked it. It's about the main character. Her name is Kala, and when she was 2, her mother took her and fled her from Alaska. So basically, Kala and her mom are living in Canada, started their own life. They don't have any contact with their dad, Ren. And then after a while, Kala ends up going to visit her dad. So it's just kind of like that story of Ren getting to know her dad, and then she meets a guy. Like I said, they're like enemies turn to lovers, so it's basically about like their love story. But there's 3 books in this series, and so I'm really excited to read the other 2 books because I did really like this book. There wasn't like anything like crazy big twist wise. Like, there's a few like minor twists, but overall it still was really good. Like I said, I rated it 5 out of 5 stars, which I'm starting to not be so generous on my 5 stars because I was looking back at books that I read earlier this year that I rated 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm just like, why did I do that? Like, I don't remember like loving the book. But yeah, I did rate this 5 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I was going back and forth between 4 and 5 stars, but overall I did really like this book, and I'm excited to keep reading the series. And then the next book that I read was It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I've already kind of talked about this book. I made a TikTok review. I posted a whole video reading this book, so if you want more like context, go to those 2 resources. But overall I did like it. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I was a little let down because something that I love about Colleen Hoover is I love like a good twist. I love a big twist at the end, and I feel like this book just kind of like fell flat for me. I know this whole book was really just supposed to be about Atlas's and Lily's love story, so I'm glad that they finally got their happily ever after. I know there's a few twists here and there like with Atlas's family and stuff like that, but I was just expecting a bigger twist. I don't know what I would have wanted the twist to be, but I just wish that there was one, so that's why ultimately I did rate it 4 out of 5 stars. I just feel like if this was like a standalone book, I don't think I would have liked it as much because it just was very just like lovey-dovey and like boring to me, which I feel like something is wrong with me if I think a happy love story is boring. I should probably work on that, but overall, I just, like I said, I love a good twist, and to me, this is where the book fell flat, but I absolutely loved the writing. I love Colleen Hoover. Like I said, I still rated it 4 out of 5 stars, but if this was like a standalone book, I don't think I would have liked it as much because I wouldn't have understood the history of Riley and Atlas and Lily to like really appreciate this book. So I'm glad that this is like a second book in the series, but overall, like I said, I did like it. It just fell a little flat to me, but overall it still was a really good book. 4 out of 5 stars. Up next, we have Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. So this is the second book to Good Girl Complex, and like I was saying, Good Girl Complex is about Mackenzie and Cooper, and Cooper has a twin brother named Evan. So this book focuses on Evan and his relationship with his former, like, ex-girlfriend from high school, Genevieve. So this book just basically is about their relationship. Again, just kind of like a very cheesy, fun, little like lovey-dovey book. There's a couple like little twists in it, but overall I did really like it. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. The third book comes out next year, and I don't know who the third book is about, but I'm assuming it's just about another person in the friend group. But overall I did really like it. I would definitely recommend this series. Great. And then after that, I read Cover Story by Susan Rigetti, and I loved this book. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. Super good. If you guys liked Inventing Anna on Netflix, definitely read this book because this was giving me major Inventing Anna vibes, and I sat down to read this book and then finished it all in one setting. I was not thinking I was going to do that, but this book you literally just fly through because there's so many just like blank pages, because you have like text messages, you have emails, you have like little letters like that. So there's just like a lot of blank white space. And then you have like Instagram posts sometimes. So it was a very easy fly through book, but I loved the writing. I loved that there was like a variety. I loved it when there was like text messages, so it wasn't just all text. Loved this book, would definitely recommend it. Like I said, if you liked Inventing Anna, then you would definitely like this book. And then lastly, I read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and this was again one of those books I was kind of going back and forth between rating a 4 or a 5 stars. I ended up rating it 5 stars. I did really like it. I think there was a lot of good twists in it, like nothing huge or major, just like a lot of tiny twists, which I liked because it kind of kept me on my toes when I was reading. Absolutely loved this. I think this book literally came out this month, but everyone has been talking about it on like book Instagram, on Book Talk, and so I'm glad that I picked it up and read it. I'm a big hockey gal, so the fact that this book is centered around a relationship with a hockey player, loved it. But it's basically about this figure skater and this hockey player, and they obviously practice in 2 separate rinks, but then something happens to one of the rinks, and so now the hockey team and the figure skater team have to like practice in the same arena. This is another like enemies turns to lovers book, and I really liked it. It definitely is very like spicy and steamy, and that was one of the reasons why I almost rated it 4 out of 5 stars, because it almost felt like it was too like X-rated. I don't know, I just like don't love to read about that. Like, some of those scenes are fine here and there, but I feel like there were just those like spicy scenes like every single page, and I was just kind of like getting over it, honestly. So that's kind of what made me almost want to rate it a 4 out of 5 stars. But the ending, you guys, the ending is so cute. Honestly, like the best epilogue I've ever read. It was so good. I just loved it so much, and so that's why I ultimately did rate it 5 out of 5 stars. But if you love like a good steamy spicy... Okay, my battery just is blinking and I ran out of storage, so I had to delete some stuff. So if this angle is like looking weird, I apologize. But we're almost done. I need to take my glasses off now that I know I'm in focus. My eyesight is terrible. But like I was saying before I got really interrupted by my camera, if you guys love a good like spicy, steamy book, then this book will definitely be for you. If you don't like it, then maybe not read it. But overall, I still did really like the plot. It was unique. And like I said, I love a good hockey boy, so I just loved this book. But yeah, I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. So the day that I'm filming this is Friday, October 28th. So we still have a couple days left in October. But these are all the books that I've read so far. I am about to start Love and Gelato. I don't know if I'll finish it before the end of the month. I probably will because I literally have nothing to do except read, so I probably will finish it. But today is the only day that like worked best with my schedule to film. So overall, those are all the books that I have read. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have read any of these books, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what was on your October list that you guys have read. Also, I do have a book Instagram now, so if you guys want to go ahead and follow me on there, definitely do so for more like book related content. But yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on all my social medias. I will link them down below for you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video.